Hello and welcome to South Devon. Another glorious sunny day. Got to keep the cap on, keep the old bonds from getting overheated. Right, so what we're going to do is test out how well natural nitrogen fertiliser, liquid fertiliser in the form of nettles that have been steeped in water actually are. I've seen plenty of people promoting this idea, but I've never seen anybody test it to see if it works. So what I'm going to do is, I've got two beds here that have been started off exactly the same way, and one will be watered with just plain water, and the other one will have this solution of nettle tea watered with it instead, and we'll see by growth comparisons. And I'll be sowing mustard, which is very fast growing, as a green manure for these beds, because they've only had green waste compost, and I'm not sure about how valuable this compost is. I had to bite the bullet and actually buy some, because I was never going to get there this year otherwise. It cost me an absolute arm and a leg. So to test whether this nitrogen feed is any good or not, I've got two beds can be treated exactly the same. One is going to be just watered with plain water. The other one is going to be watered with a weak or normal version of the nitrogen feed from nettles steeped in water. I'll show you what I've actually got, and this is what I've got in this clip now, which is just basically fresh nettles cut very recently, stacked into a large vessel filled with water, and they'll sit there and stew away and stink apparently, but release the nitrogen into the water over a period of the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I can start feeding this bed of mustard in that time frame, or after that time frame, and we're going to find out if the mustard fed with this nitrogen feed is better than plain water. There isn't any difference in the way the beds have been treated. They're both identical in as much as that the freshly made up beds, green waste compost over ground that is really quite compact. I won't stint on the watering during this period because it is quite dry. The plastic membrane that was over the top of this has kept the moisture levels up well, so even though it looks very dry, it's actually quite reasonable underneath. So there's not going to be anything different. There's no fertilizers involved, just the green waste compost to try and stop some of the grass growing, because that is going to be a problem, because there's only about an inch, maybe two depth of compost here, which isn't enough to subdue the grass on its own. What I'm hoping is the green manure will go strong, that will subdue the grass to a certain extent, and then when I terminate that crop by using a membrane that will keep out the light, the worms and bacteria will be able to work to the surface and drag the remains of the mustard down into the ground, at the same time denying light for any couch grass that has grown. So it should work reasonably well. That was the plan. Let's see if the reality is anything different. Wish you farewell, and let's see in about 5 or 6 weeks whether the nitrogenous feed made from Stinging Nettles actually works. Thanks for joining me. Till the next one, bye for now.